October. Also, we take a look at the Naira's journey from 1972, when it was created, till date. This is Business Insight. I am Vivian Oguche. Welcome aboard. For starters now, we have Alfreda Ambe Bassi with the top stories in the world of business. Stay tuned.
A lovely morning to you and welcome. Here we give you business updates and market trends, which will come after this break. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, has taken a decisive action against the aviation fuel contamination incident involving Max Air. The NCAA imposed suspensions on unlicensed oil marketers and those with expired licenses, preventing them from supplying and refueling aircraft within the nation's airports. This move was announced during the inaugural session of the collaborative NCAA Audit Committee responsible for overseeing aviation fuel activities in Nigeria. Director General of the NCAA, Captain Musa Nuhu, emphasized the importance of this collaboration, which led to the identification and suspension of non-compliant activities, underlining the NCAA's commitment to maintaining safety standards in Nigerian skies. And moving on, Enugu State government has secured a 26 billion naira investment from both local and foreign investors by revitalizing the Enugu State Transport Company, Entraco. This was disclosed by the State Commissioner for Transport, Obi Ozo, at the State Executive Council meeting and Enugu State Executive Leadership Retreat held at Nike Lake Resort. This investment is expected to make a significant impact on the state's transport sector, creating over 10,000 job opportunities and injecting an additional 26 billion naira into the Enugu economy. Notably, this initiative includes the introduction of compressed natural gas buses for improved intrastate and interstate transportation, aligning with the state's industrialization objectives under Governor Peter Mba's leadership. And away from that, the World Bank has approved a $700 million loan for Nigeria aimed at supporting education and empowerment initiatives targeted at adolescent girls. This program's expansion will see its activities extend from 7 states to an additional 11, encompassing out-of-school girls, married girls, and those with disabilities as beneficiaries. To date, the initiative has achieved significant progress, increasing the number of girls in secondary schools from 900,000 to over 1.6 million across the 7 participating states: Borno, Ekiti, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, and Plateau. The World Bank Country Director for Nigeria, Shobham Chowdhury, underscored the critical importance of narrowing gender gaps in economic empowerment through improved access to education and skills. This financing is set to benefit not only girls but also extend its impact to more than 15 million students, including teachers, administrators, families, communities, and school staff. The program's coverage will expand to 18 states with the overarching goal of enhancing education and healthcare outcomes for girls in Nigeria. The African Development Bank, AFDB, and Google are partnering to advance Africa's rapid growing digital economy. This announcement was made during the Global Africa Business Initiative at the United Nations General Assembly in New York. Currently valued at $115 billion, Africa's digital economy is projected to reach an impressive $712 billion by 2050. This collaboration between AFDB and Google underscores their joint commitment to harness emerging technologies, strengthen digital infrastructure, nurture talent development, and promote overall digital progress on the continent. Google, a long-time investor in Africa, has played a pivotal role in supporting infrastructure, talent, innovation, and regulatory advancements. Google's Senior Vice President of Research, Technology, and Society, Dr. James Mayika, emphasized the untapped potential of advanced technologies like artificial intelligence, highlighting the need for collaboration to ensure inclusive progress. And in a new development, the U.S. Commerce Department has officially implemented regulations as part of the Chips and Science Law, which allocates a substantial $52.7 billion for semiconductor production, research, and workforce development, with $39 billion designated for subsidies. These rules, initially proposed in March, are designed to prevent U.S. funding recipients from supporting semiconductor manufacturing expansion in countries like China and Russia. They also prohibit joint research and technology licensing efforts with entities from such countries. The primary goal is to safeguard U.S. national security interests by ensuring that the funding provided does not inadvertently benefit potential competitors or threats for the next decade. Coming up next is the stock, commodities, and currency markets trend after this break. Welcome back. At the conclusion of the latest trading session on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, a total of 1,028,442,215 shares were traded across 6,370 deals. This trading activity amounted to a market value of 4,354,908,477 naira and 71 kobo. These figures represent an 8% reduction in trading volume, a 25% decrease in total turnover, and a 20% decline in the number of deals. The market capitalization of the Nigerian Stock Exchange stands at 36,900 billion naira. In terms of individual stocks, a total of 115 NGX-listed equities participated in the trading session. This resulted in 29 gainers and 20 losers. Among the top gainers were NEM Insurance Company, which saw a 10% increase in its share price, closing at 5 naira 50 kobo per share. It was followed by Souq Assurance, Cornerstone Insurance Company, and Sunu Assurances Nigeria. Conversely, the biggest decliner was Oando, with its share price experiencing a 9.89% depreciation, ending the day at 11 naira 75 kobo per share. This was followed by Dangote Cement, Ikeja Hotel, and Mark Nicholas. Universal Insurance Company recorded the highest trading volume, which was followed by Sterling Bank, Oando, and Access Holdings. Now to Zambia. At the conclusion of the latest trading session on the Lusaka Securities Exchange, a total of 38,461 shares were traded within 75 deals. This trading activity amounted to a market value of 108,996 Zambian kwacha, 84 ngui. Compared to the previous LUSE trading day, Thursday, these figures indicate a 10% increase in trading volume, a 27% decrease in total turnover, but a 4% improvement in the number of deals. The market capitalization of the Lusaka Securities Exchange stands at 82,200,000,000 Zambian kwacha. During this trading session, 7 LUSE listed equities participated, and there were no gainers nor losers among them. Zambia National Commercial Bank recorded the highest trading volume with 16,399 shares traded. This was followed by Zambia Products, Standard Chartered Bank, and Zambian Breweries. We turn to the latest commodities market update, where wheat is trading at 579.50 US cents, reflecting its current market value. Gold is priced at $1,924.99 US dollars per unit. Silver sells at $23.53 US dollars per unit. Copper is valued at $3.67 US dollars, and Brent crude stands at $93.27 US dollars. These prices fluctuations in the commodities markets indicate ongoing trends in global economic conditions and investor sentiment. Investors and analysts are closely monitoring these shifts for potential impacts on various industries and financial markets. And the latest updates on currency in the parallel market: the USD is being bought at a rate of 985 naira and sold for 995 naira. British pounds is available for purchase at a rate of 1,240 naira and sells at 1,250 naira. Euro exchanges between 1,030 naira and 1,040 naira. These currencies exchange rates provide valuable insights for businesses, travelers, and investors alike, as they reflect the current market dynamics and fluctuations in the international exchange markets. Monitoring these rates is essential for making informed financial decisions and assessing the economic landscape. And that is it for us on the business news. As we approach October 1, Nigeria's Independence Day, we find ourselves amidst an important economic discourse. Today, we explore the devaluation of the Nigerian currency and its consequences. Join Vivian Oguche as she unravels the economic challenges and its significance for the nation. I am Alfreda Ambe-Ibasi. Keep watching Business Insight.
You're welcome back. So we are delving very, very deep into Nigeria's currency, the Naira. So Nigeria's currency, the Naira, is divided into 100 kobo. The name Naira was coined from the word Nigeria by Obafemi Awolowo. However, Naira as a currency was launched by Shehu Shagari as Minister of Finance in 1973. Now, the Naira was introduced on the 1st of January 1973, replacing the Nigerian pound. Now, listen to this. It replaced the Nigerian pound at a rate of 1 pound to 2 Naira. Now, the coins of the new currency were the first coins issued by an independent Nigeria, right, after Nigeria had gained her independence, as all circulating coins of the Nigerian pound were all struck by the colonial government of the Federation of Nigeria in 1959, with the name of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse. Now, the Currency Operations Department of the CBN is in charge of currency management. Now, fast forward to 2023, a major cash crunch occurred in February when the federal government used the currency note changeover, delivering too few of the new notes into circulation to attempt to force citizens to use a newly created government-sponsored central bank digital currency. Now, this led to extensive street protests. Now, for more perspective on the Naira and its devaluation, and being joined virtually by Adebisi Adekunle. Adebisi Adekunle is an assessor and business turnaround expert, and I've been told that Adebisi joins us a little bit later on in the show. But standing by also is Souq Emeka. Souq Emeka is a public analyst, oil and gas consultant. Souq, thank you so much for joining us on the show today as we count down to Nigeria's 63rd birthday on the 1st of October. It's nice to have you. So once upon a time, the Naira was stronger than the dollar. Souq, you need to unmute your mic so that we can have a conversation and so that the viewer at home can hear you loud and clear. Unmute your mic. Have you done that? Souq, can you hear me? Yeah, but I can't hear you, so you need to unmute your mic. Unmute your mic so we can hear you. Why don't we take a short break so we walk Souq through this whole process, and then we'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. So, Chooks, are we good now? I hope we are. So I was saying earlier on that at its creation in 1973, the Naira traded at 2 Naira to £1. That's massive, right? But as we speak, it's a different story. So what happened? Can you walk us through the journey of the Naira from 1973 when it was created till now when it is way, way weaker than the dollar?
Okay. Yeah, I think a lot of economic policy made by the state that have come right. So the economic this has been the challenge because we are one a lot of corruption, the things that there are policies that are becoming to the government that is imbalance policy going out over the years has been the challenge. So I know that there is no way an economy that will be run in that manner can be stable. We've seen how government officials have looted the common patrimony of the country over the years. So we don't expect anything less than an unstable economy. We of recent we see the fact that the naira has been devalued once more again. And we cried out earlier when this government came in that the subsidy should not be removed because it's going to affect practically every system, every part of this country. And it's also going to affect the earning power and the purchasing power of the Nigerian people. That is the reason why we wanted the government to have some further on the issue of putting subsidy. But however, we also saw that the floating of the naira was another challenge, another reason why the naira is good. And we are going to have this going to continue going up because the monetary policy of the CBN is not yet clear how they intend to bring a stable economy. I think that's my own view for now concerning that particular question you just asked.
All right, there's something you said about floating the naira. Let me just put this to you. The unification of the foreign exchange rates is the second most important decision made by this administration, led by President Bola Tinubu, as experts have said. Now, before the merger, the official rate was about 400 naira. Now, while it was about 800 and 900 naira to the British pound. Well, the government said in order to achieve the merger, the government had to embark on floating the naira. Now, we watched all through last week President Tinubu's outing at the United Nations General Assembly, and when he rang the closing bell at NASDAQ, and he was saying that he wanted to woo foreign investors into the country, and he wanted to remove bottlenecks and create an eco-friendly environment for investors to come in and thrive, you know. So he said one of the things he did was to remove the subsidy and also to unify the exchange rate. So would you agree with government that this was necessary, regardless of the hardship Nigerians are facing now? This was necessary in order to achieve the long-term goal of prosperity for Nigerians as well as foreigners who come to invest in the country?
Anyway, I like you said, it's necessary. And the issue there is that we don't have a consuming country, a nation that consumes. So I don't know how a nation that is practically importing over 90% of this product can be able to float their currency. It's a consumption building economy. So before you take any decision, before you bring in any policy that you regard to be a long term, there are certain measures that need to be put in place. And these measures we are overlooked. These measures were not put into consideration. That's the reason we are having the hardship and the difficulties Nigerians are facing at the moment. Now let me even go further. As of today, it is practically impossible for any investor to move out his money outside. And you want the investors to come. The airline operators, the foreign airline operators have over $800 million hanging in the country and they can't take it out. How do you want other investors to come when you go to United Nations General Assembly and want to woo investors in the country? Whereas the ones who are already here are having challenges of moving their profit to pay off their directors across the globe. So it's a challenge. It's a big challenge that we need to look into. It's something everyone needs to be able to sit down. Those who make the policies in this country need to sit down and ask ourselves a few questions. What do we actually want as a people? How do we intend to solve the problem? The marriage of issues that is besurging this country. Is it by just making out policies without looking at the critical challenges that the people are passing through, that the country itself is passing through? Because it's not about making policy. The problem is after you make the policy, what is the after effect? Nigeria, as of today, is a consumption-driven country. The only thing that we export as of now that is giving us foreign exchange, that I know that is giving us more foreign exchange today, is crude oil. So tell me another product that we are exporting that can generate the kind of foreign exchange we need to strike a balance in the nation. That's the reason why most of the policies the government is bringing seems as if it's not working, because they are being built on faulty foundations. So let's be practical about just in this country. The leadership in this country needs to come out of their high building and look practically into the situation going on in all the sectors of this country.
Okay.
So we have to be. I don't know how you go out to go and woo investors, and right there, even the investors you have here at the moment are complaining. The ones outside will be hearing the ones that are in here. What the challenges are facing through? How do you intend to bring the ones outside?
All right, let me come back to you, Chooks. There's something you said about investors' money being trapped in the country. It would be remiss of us not to state clearly that this problem is a boomerang from the administration that just left. This is what this current administration inherited. This administration is just few months old, and they've promised that they are going to ensure that investors can invest in the country and take their money away when they want to, however they want to, right? So let's also talk about some of the measures you said needed to be put in place before subsidies were removed, and then the unification of the exchange rate. As an expert, what are some of these measures that you would have recommended to be put in place before these policies were implemented?
One of the measures that we put in place is to actually fight the criminals who are involved in the subsidy scandal. That was the critical thing the government would have done. Because by fighting the criminals in the subsidy, we could have been able to at least recover 50% of the total of the money that is being filtered away. That is where we should have started first. Deal with the criminality in the system. Now, the question I also want to ask, when we remove subsidy, what were the benefits that there was no benefit at all. The only thing we saw is disadvantage. We saw our industries collapse. We saw the economy going down. We saw banks shutting down activities because they could not buy diesel to run their services at the normal working hours. We saw people lose their jobs. That was the only benefit we had when government removed subsidies. Now they are saying they are going to get benefits from removing subsidies as well. I can tell you there will not be any benefit. Now the reason why we are talking about subsidies It's because the government has not even fixed our refinery. It's the refineries I will fix. It's to give Nigerians some support. I can tell you the last time we built a refinery in this country was in 1989. We have 4 refineries, 2 in Port Harcourt, 1 in Warrior, and another one in Capital. None of these refineries is possible. This is a nation that produces up to 1.2 barrels of crude oil a day. We cannot refine this place and sell to us. I don't know why we are even talking about subsidy. Because subsidy is a generic word everywhere in the world. Every country in the world subsidizes them to make sure that the lives of their people are okay. Subsidy is everywhere. There is subsidy in education. There is subsidy in health. There is subsidy in hospital management. That is the reason why we have general subsidy. So there's no need anybody talking about subsidy. I think it's a strange word. It's something that will kill any government. Now we even know, as I say, that government is doing something. The fuel. That is why they are keeping that fuel at the balance of 620. That is why we are selling at 620, because they are selling something that is doing something. Because the landing price that I pay for fuel is 210. Tell me one investor, someone that can be able to bring fuel at 10 and sell to the citizens at 620. It is practically impossible. It is impossible. So the government needs to be realistic about this thing. There is no need hiding away. You can't tell me you can't subsidize fuel for the only petroleum distillate that is available that interfaces with your citizens. That will make the market woman that is grinding pepper survive. It will make the barber in the shop keep his business going. It will make the one who is driving Uber to keep his business going. Because I can tell you the hardship that Nigerians are passing through at the moment because of the global of it is unimaginable. I have so many barbers in my estate who have shut down because they can't run that. They can't run. How much do they make by buying fuel for $600? That's the challenge we are having. The government policies are again policies that are draconic to society. If you are going to do any long-term project, then put in long-term palliatives that can help the citizen to wait out that time that you are planning these things you want to do. That is what we mean when we say a government is human, has a human face.
Let me come in here, Chooks.
Don't just take a decision just because you want to please some certain kind of people. You look at also the citizens. What would they feel? How would they take it?
All right, so you talked about long-term palliatives. I just wanted to let you know that here at Souq News, we call it social intervention programs, since it's a long-term thing and we are trying to push the change of perspective. Also, as we continue to talk about the devaluation of Naira and its fall from grace, you talked about funds being trapped in the nation. The aviation industry was the hardest hit. But listen to what Bankole Bernard, chairman of Airlines and Passengers Joint Committee, APCJ, said. He said that, this association is that of the International Air Transport Association. He said what the introduction of the new rate would mean for airlines is that it will reduce the amount of trapped funds in the country. So the investors themselves are impressed with some of these policies. Now, I would want to ask you to make recommendations as to what the government should do in order to walk the talk.
I don't understand when that investors are impressed by the policy. I don't understand that.
I wish I could hear you, Chooks. Say that again.
Airlines, guys are crying. They are not happy. So I don't know how your Naira was at 2014. Naira was around $5. Today we are having Naira at 1,000 Naira per Naira. And the investors are happy. How are they going to be happy? transition. I don't know how we want to explain this. Every day we have inflation being rising, prices of food are going up, and things that's what are happening. They are able to have even the inflation where they are using the price every day. Diesel as of today is selling around 1.9 per liter. How are the investors going to have? Let's call it spade a spade. The economic policies that this government over the years have been turning out is weakening the economy. In fact, Nigeria is sitting on the keg of gunpowder as at now. The reason why people have not got, look at what's going on in Ghana. Look at what happened in Kenya. When they removed the subsidy in Kenya, we saw how the whole country went on fire. It's not that people had to come back and review that policy again. That's the reason why the government was stable. You have to look at how to win. The issue there is how you run your government. If you run your government and you don't look at the face of the people, you're not running government. The government is actually based on the people. People are suffering. People are passing through hell. After the 8 years of the last government, we are in another hell in the past 2 years. So I don't know what you see by the investors are impressed. This investor is impressed about some of these decisions. An investor is impressed that he does the business in the country. He cannot move his profit out to settle his directors and settle the owners of the company. He can't move his profit out. If I am an investor today, and I bring in millions of dollars to a country, and I cannot take my money back to go and pay up my debt and pay up the people I'm paying, or the foreign investors who are partner with this company, how do you want to do that?
Well, let me come in here, Chooks.
So
At the risk of sounding like the devil's advocate, right? I'm going to be quoting what experts in the industry have been saying. I'm glad you are an expert in the oil and gas sector. So this question definitely might delight you. Now, a former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, recently threw his weight behind the steps so far taken by the Apex Bank, that's the CBN, towards the exchange rate unification. Now, listen to what the former emir of Kano State said. He said that the CBN should not get into a panic, but to wait for oil prices to rise to enable it build up its foreign exchange buffers. Is this right? Do you agree with the former CBN governor?
Let me say about the reason why Nigeria is relying on international concerning the oil price and not help that of our financial system. In Africa, we have about 12 financial. I don't know how systemic errors are going on here. In Africa, whole of Africa has to get finance. Only three taxes. Whereas Europe has ticket refineries working as a ticket refineries working. Only in Spain alone, we have 12 active refineries that are giving us more than 150,000 barrels of product daily. In Nigeria, we have 0 refineries working. Why are we waiting for the international community to decide how we are going to give products to our country? The reason why we are doing this is because we don't have anything we are exporting outside. Is it wrong for Nigeria to produce petrol and diesel and sell to Mali? Is it a crime? Why would you wait for foreigners to decide how we are going to run our country? In the OPEC countries, in the OPEC, the 30 OPEC countries that are talking to you, 10 of them is African countries. Only 3 is outside. That's Saudi Arabia, Venezuela, and one other country that are member nations, apart from the non-member nations. Yet, Africa has only 8 refineries working. And all these 8 refineries don't produce up to 800,000 barrels per day. What are we even talking about? Nigeria we need to begin to look into some of these things and understand that things are not complex. It is people who are trying to make it complex. Where we go to buy this product, if Nigeria is the one refining and sell it, do you know the value of forex you will get that will be able to drive down the desire that you get to a level to have. The reason why we're doing direct forex is because there is high demand and there is no availability. So everybody is scrambling to get forex. Most of the banks don't even have forex. Nigerian banks are because they don't have the forex. They don't have it. They rely on their counterpart countries, counterpart banks abroad. That is what we're talking about. Some of these things are very simple. They are not complex. But it's just because we want to make it complex. People are trying to make it complex because they want to benefit from it. The CPNs are now to look at but not to the enemy. Why? How do we fix about it? Let's just pick one. Let's pick one refinery and see how the economy of this country will improve. Because the distillate, the petrol, and this other products, they help in driving an economy. Whether you like it or not, they are important in driving any economy. That is why the nations that produce this product don't joke with their refineries. How do we have refineries in Nigeria? How do we have more refineries not working? And every time they're putting money in maintenance on refinery. Last year, it was $1.5 billion that was injected into the refinery. They told us that by July the refineries will rest. Now July is past. They've extended the gun again to December. How do we stop? How do we live? How do the country live on life? The country living on life and stuff. We have to tell ourselves the forex demand in this country is low, is high. The forex availability in the country is low.
Yeah, that's you.
Now, why is it low? Because we are a consuming nation alone. The only thing we do is to import. We don't produce anything that will make foreign investors bring in their dollars here. There's nothing to produce. Now, even the ones that are bringing their money to come and invest in the nation, as I talk to you today, I talked to two investors, one in Spain, another one in Malaysia. I wanted to bring them. They said they are not coming. I asked them the reason. They told me their embassy told them not to come because they will have issues. Getting forex to do trade, to transact there. So how do we solve this problem? I don't want to join issues with what anybody is saying, whether His Excellency, His Royal Highness.
Let me come in here. There's a germane question you just asked. I'm going to throw it back to you, right? So given an opportunity, what clear policy would you pursue in the face of dwindling resources to address the subsidy issue in the immediate and long term? You have 2 minutes to address this, Chooks. Thank you. Did you get me? You know, you asked what should be done. I mean, that's a germane question. So I'm rephrasing your question to ask that, given an opportunity, what clear policy would you pursue in the face of the dwindling resources to address the subsidy crisis in the immediate term and also in the long term?
If you can get the price of that, that's now also the government should also go into CNG. This CNG hospital that the federal government has been planning to build into the country. They should escape, they should stop. Since they say that that's the only way transportation can be made available to everybody. Because when we talk about the challenges of transport, we are not talking about the urban. We have to look at the villages and see what is happening. People can't go to their farm. People can't look and take the goods that they produce from their farmlands. They can't take it because they can't pay for the transport. This is challenging. We need to be truthful to ourselves. Those who are giving us analysis, the economists and economists who supported the removal of something, should also tell us what solutions should be done now so that the country can be balanced, so that we don't have crime increasing. Because when a barber cannot feed and a bus driver cannot run his bus, most of them will begin to lose mortality. Then the long term here, our refinery. Let us fix this refinery. We do not take anything to fix the refinery. In fact, the easiest thing, I'm a mechanical engineer. The easiest thing to is to fix mechanical if you have the part. All these stories of it will take some time is all grammar. The reason why they are telling us all these stories is because there is corruption. It is corruption that is calling. People are earning big time from the fact that this refinery people are enjoying. And that's the reason why they don't want it to work. They know that the day the refineries are working, they will lose this power of importing fuel that is giving them more money. They will lose. That's the reason why they don't want refineries. I'm saying it, so I'm going to tell it everybody everywhere. So that the NNPC or the federal government, people don't want the refineries to work. It's an straightforward. There is nothing different. If you get 3 petroleum engineers today, 2 mechanical engineers and 2 electrical engineers, with a system engineer, we will fix that refinery. There's nothing there.
Souq, I have one more question to ask, but unfortunately we have to wrap up. I was going to ask you, you said people don't want the refinery to work. I'm wondering why. But also, do you think there are deeper problems that must be taken into consideration, like the archaic nature of the refineries and how you have more, modern equipment that must be installed to ensure that, you produce oil based on best practices internationally. But maybe when you come back, I will ask you that question again. Thank you so much, Souq. You've been very, very gracious. Souq Emeka is a public analyst. He's also an oil and gas consultant. And I do hope that when we invite you to come on the show again, you will grace Souq News. Thank you so much, Souq. Souq, I beg your pardon. Souq. You know, it sounds alike. Now, Adebisi Adekunle was unable to join us due to technicalities, but we do hope to have him join us on the show subsequently. Adebisi, in absentia, is an assessor and a business turnaround expert. To everybody that contributed to making the show a success today, I say a big thank you, a bigger thank you for watching Business Insight on Souq News. Why don't you keep a date with me again, same time, same station, for another show. Until then, I am Vivian Oguche. Do have yourself a beautiful day. Bye for now.